Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set? Cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. USAPREPARES.com. Call in line. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. There's a link to your instructors, USAPREPARES.com. Converging threats are confronted daily by your instructors. I'm Vincent Finelli. Trevor's engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. John Reagan's with us, Captain John Regan, U.S. Air Force Reserves, retired. Welcome, John Regan.
Yeah, it's only a rumor.
You know, John, we had a meetup last night at Jimmy's Egg, and you know, I was thinking we had to move our meetups from Friday night to Monday nights because, well, you know, when we were at the other restaurant, that was their big night, and we took over the place and kind of messed it up for them because we filled up the restaurant with our people, and they wanted, you know, some others to come in as well. And our guys, you know, they don't just slam it down and go. Our guys stay for 3 hours and kind of ties up the restaurant. Well, Jimmy's Egg lets us stay, you know, from 4:45 till 8 at night. But they close, you know, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They reopen just for us on Mondays. I was thinking last night on the way home, we ought to move it to Friday. So I'm going to check with Jimmy's Egg and see if we can move our meetup to Fridays. And, I think that'd be a good thing to do. Well, last night, John, I had a really serious chat. Mrs. Finelli and I were in the truck and we're heading, we had to pick up some things for the expo. And we stopped at, Sam's Club to get some supplies for the expo. And we're in the truck heading toward Jimmy's Egg. And I asked her to place a call to you just to reconfirm what we were talking about on the air. And that is that we have passed the point of no return. We're going down. There's nothing we can do to stop it. And some of us, now I'm sorry to be on such a down note, but, you know, talking to these creatures, these defectives, these Congress critters, the people in Washington, who are so selfish and so greedy, they've sold us out. It's taken decades to do it. But they've accomplished through their own greed the destruction of the United States of America. They've done it. They've destroyed the family. We've had, we used to talk about family values. You know, politicians would talk about family values. These creatures don't have family values. We've allowed the Clintons to sell us out to Asia and open our borders. And, you know, the current regime is just as bad. They've all been. And each time we've had a president in the White House, we thought we elected him. I don't think we elected anybody. I think they've been selected. And one of the two candidates is going to win. No matter what. One of them is going to win. Third party doesn't have a chance. So they choose two candidates. One wins, and I think the system is happy with either one of them. And each time we get one of these thugs, we say, geez, you know, we're voting for that one because the previous one was so bad. And the next one gets worse. And we go, we got to get a new one because that one's so bad. And we just keep replacing with worse and worse thugs. Worse and more defective people. People without conscience. people without morals, people without a moral compass. And we look up to these people, and we call them leaders. The last thing I want to do is be led by Barney Frank, or Barry Soetoro, or Michelle Obama, or George Bush, or Hillary Clinton, or Bill Clinton, or any of those people. There is not a single person, not one, that I can think of, not one in Washington, D.C. that I respect. I'm bummed out. I'm angry. I'm disappointed. A whole bunch of negative emotions all rolled into one because we can't fix it. We can't fix it. And I look around Springfield, Missouri, and they've got these track hose, these magnificent machines, multi-ton machines. I mean, huge machines, hammering away with jackhammers on the front. And they're blasting rock, and they've been doing it for months, tying up traffic at this one intersection to make a different exit and entrance ramp for Battlefield Road, off 65. Why are they doing this? It was fine the way it was. Something's going on. I don't know if somewhere around Springfield, Missouri is going to be one of the new capitals of the broken up United States or what. I don't know. But it was better. Taxes are out of control. Police are now wearing black uniforms. I saw a cop in the middle of the highway, or in Battlefield last night. He had a motorcycle. He had so many lights. It looked like there were 15 cops. There was just one on a motorcycle. He was actually, I think there was somebody stranded, and he was directing traffic around a tow truck. But he had his black uniform on. He had 2 sets of handcuffs. Why? Why 2 sets of handcuffs? Why so many weapons on these guys? Why are they wearing black uniforms? The last thing I want to do is call a cop. I want to be left alone. And all my friends want to be left alone. John, do you feel any of these same emotions that I'm expressing right now?
Oh, yeah, and it's kind of like I was listening to the news at the top of the hour there about the Republicans are proposing this budget plan to come to a balanced budget within 10 years, which is just another big fat lie. And, you know, using numbers that I believe are probably overly optimistic, we can't fix it. In order to have the money to tax to cover the unfunded liabilities, it would take immediately tripling everybody's wage and salary, which is an impossibility, and taxing 100% of it, leaving nothing for living expenses. On the flip side, if we immediately cut the social insurance program, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, at the last time I did that calculation, I thought there might be enough left over that we could eke out, with severe austerity, getting past a collapse. But like I say, I believe I was using way optimistic numbers. And even if we did cut those programs, the social unrest would be so great that I don't think the country would survive anyway. So it's kind of a no-win situation. There's, whatever extreme measure you want to do to try and get around it and preserve the country, it's not there. It ends up in, basically one of two ways. You have a controlled state, which we've talked about, and that controlled state has all this great technology we've been talking about as well, or it ends up in war. And if you look at the shape the countries are in, the United States is broke, Europe's broke, Japan's broke. There's not the resources to do a war like World War II. And when you are faced with, being defeated, surrendering. That's when you ramp things up. You remember the Japanese, did the kamikaze thing, destroying ships. Germany had technology programs that came very close to doing what we did with Japan, having nukes and rockets to deliver them, which would have totally changed the European war. And without, the ability to fight conventional war, you then go to the unconventional means, which includes nuclear, chemical, biological, and, with what's in the black ops programs nowadays, technologically, biologically, we have no idea what's there. But I would believe that a war would ramp up to using nukes one way or another very quickly.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why I'm so bummed out. Because I don't see any way. I don't see any way we can fix it. We were talking last night at the meetup, and we just, you know what? I said, you all have your phones put away, right? And everybody made sure their phones were put away where, they wouldn't be able to pick up what we were talking about. And I mentioned one of these elected politicians, allegedly elected. Billy Long is his name. He's in Missouri, U.S. Congress critter. And I remember talking with one of our exhibitors at one of our expos. Her name is Tara Suchman, and she is head of one of the Tea Parties, Branson Tea Party, Branson, Missouri. She was at the expo, and she was telling us, a small group of us, she was having a chat with Billy Long after he was elected, and a bunch of people supported him because he was from here and he was going to represent us and protect us and defend us, and he didn't. And he voted the exact opposite way that his supporters thought he was going to vote. So she called him up, and he said to her, "You don't understand the pressure I'm under." I mentioned that last night, and we heard from the group, Janet Randall, that's exactly what he said on the radio. You don't understand the pressure. Class, who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take? At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door.
AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. How many? I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
The freeze-dry guy, a leader in the preparedness industry for 44 years, is closing his California warehouse. Don't miss out on this huge warehouse sale and receive discounts from 30 to 40% off on the finest Mountain House and Packaway brand freeze-dried and dehydrated foods for long-term food storage or even everyday use. Plus deep discounts on all in-stock survival gear. The Freeze-Dry Guy is offering a wide selection of freeze-dried foods in number 10 cans and even individually packaged entrees. Remember, meats, vegetables, fruits, and long-range patrol rations are the main components for any long-term food storage. This is limited to stock on hand, so hurry and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, as always, free shipping to the lower 48 states. So hurry up and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, this is limited to stock on hand. The Freeze-Dry Guy is your choice for survival food in an uncertain world.
Well, John, I'm looking at a map on the internet of active hate groups in the United States. The Southern Poverty Law Center said there are 784 of them. And so I'm looking at Missouri. I'm looking around where we are. And, well, heck, let's see. We have the Ku Klux Klan. We have a couple. We got some neo-Nazis. We have some racist skinheads. And we have some Christian identity, whatever that means. And we have some, neo-Confederates. All right near where I am. I didn't know that. I've never been invited to any of those meetings. I've never seen anyone who's come out of any of those meetings. But it looks like we have our fair share. But it looks like east of the Mississippi, there are more. There are more of them than west of the Mississippi. Just a thought. So, John, what's on today's lesson slate?
Well, we're picking up where we left off yesterday, and I've got a number of articles for health. I typically kind of push those to the side because we've got such great doctors. We have Norm Shealy on every week, and I know you have a number of other doctors coming to the expo that great resources for you to come talk to. And what I'm going to do with these is let me just run through them, and then we can discuss them. We've now got the World Health Organization saying that Roundup is a probable carcinogen. We've got an article where tonsils are part of the immune system, and mine were taken out. We've also learned that your gut is a big part of the immune system. And when I was young, I had so many antibiotic shots that it had taken out all of my bacteria. That was not fun. Got an article on, is your body temperature making you fat? Which, I listed, is this a side effect of fluoride? Because hypothyroidism causes your body temperature to go down, which makes it very, very easy to add weight. We've got an article on how breastfed babies have a higher IQ and thus higher earnings. Unfortunately, I was bottle fed. Fortunately, I still didn't do too bad. And the last one says losing 30 minutes, just 30 minutes of sleep a day could lead to obesity and type 2 diabetes. And this really isn't new. There was a study a few years ago out of the UK where they took healthy college students, put them into a sleep-deprived condition, and within 2 weeks, they were already pre-diabetic. So where do you want to go on these?
Well, I'd like to start with this. We have been talking, we've been on the air about 5 years now, and Norm Shealy's been with me just about all of it. And he has been saying these things. And it's, you know, people listen to Norm Shealy and they love him. But I wonder how many people would say, oh, come on. Just because you don't get enough sleep, you know, you can become ill and have a serious disease. Oh, come on. That can't be true, right? Breastfeeding babies. Well, back in the 1950s and the 1960s, there were lots of commercials for these infant formulas. Better than mom, you know, better than breast milk. You can buy these formulas that are so much better. And the medium of television was used to con mothers into thinking, you know what, it's more convenient. All you do is warm this stuff up, buy it, and put it in a bottle, and you don't have to breastfeed. We were conned into that. Fortunately, my mother didn't buy it. My wife didn't buy it either. And tonsils, back in the 60s, going to have your tonsils removed was like common. People were conned into having their tonsils removed. They're a little bit red back there. We'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just take them out. People were having their tonsils removed like it was going to the mall for shopping. It was almost like a fun thing because you got ice cream to eat after it. And Roundup and cancer, Norm Shealy, Joel Wallach, they've been saying this. We've been saying it. And now, 5 years later, it's starting to make the news. We'll be right back.
Class who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know BidBit.co. Why? Because BidBit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your product and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at BidBit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at BidBit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, BidBit.co.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Attaboy, John. We're number one on GCN right now. Well done, John Regan. John, we were talking about sleep and illness with what Norm Shealy's been telling us, and breastfed babies and hypothyroidism and tonsillectomies and how it damaged our immune systems, and doctors were taking out tonsils. You don't need them. You don't need tonsils. That's what they said. And they would just take them out like it's like just normal. It's not normal. And Roundup causing cancer. Well, we talked about electromagnetic radiation, and you and I and Norm Shealy and a lot of us have been talking about the electromagnetic radiation. I can't wait till the expo's over. At the end of, Friday, this Friday. The expo starts on Friday, 2 days from now. After the expo's over, that's it for my cell phone. I am just delighted to be able to get rid of that cell phone, that Apple iPhone that tracks me everywhere I go. I can't turn it off, can't take the battery out. That thing is tracking every move I make. They can turn it on when I'm not aware of it, so I keep it in another room. I'll tell you where I keep it. We have a little powder room, and I keep it in a drawer wrapped in towels so that any sounds that it picks up are muffled. I have tape, black electrical tape, over the cameras, front and back, on this darn cell phone. Who is Apple? Who are those thugs at Apple Computer working with the U.S. government, the CIA, the NSA to build spy technology into a product that they sell us, and we don't know about it, and we have to uncover it. And then what happens? Apple stock goes up, right? We're so stupid. We are. Well, and how much is it? How much was an iPhone when they first came out? Like $700? I can't wait to get rid of it. I really can't. Yeah, it's kind of neat having GPS and finding out where you are and, how do you get to that location. Well, we're just going to have to go to maps. Go back to maps. And that's okay because maps don't track where I am. And the electromagnetic radiation, these Wi-Fi routers in our homes that allow the internet to connect to all these devices and transmit and receive and forward on data that's collected in our homes through these companies that have joined forces with these defectives in government to spy on us. I can't wait to dump that too. I have a router, but I've turned off the Wi-Fi component, and you can do that. You can go into the screen. You just type in the IP address of your router, and most of them are like 192.168.1.0. You type that in on your browser. Typically, it'll connect to your router. You'll have a program screen show up, and then you can say wireless, and then you can say turn that off. And then you can get a cable for $3 or $4 and connect with wire your computers. So at least you won't have electromagnetic transmissions coming out of your router. And then use the microwave at an absolute minimum. And don't look in there. Just hit the button and run if you're going to use your microwave oven. That's another device that's killing us. We've got to get away from this. Really. What's wrong with pots and pans? And what's wrong with, and what kind to get? Revere. You can go to eBay or you can go to Craigslist and buy Revere pots and pans in stainless. They'll last decades. And it's probably the safest thing to use other than cast iron. I suggest you do that. I suggest you get some of these, old-fashioned tools. I went to eBay and I bought my wife a whole bunch of pots and pans. All different sizes. I said, okay, we're going to do this once. We're going to get the next few generations worth of pots and pans. We're going to get them right now. That's what I did. And we have them. And we use them. And they work great. I think Revere is the best bang for the buck. How about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, it's like we were talking about. There's nothing we can do to save the country, but we can do things for ourselves, and it gets into, getting, good stuff that's going to last, that's healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and like Mike Knox is coming to the expo, I asked him if he'd give away a couple 100 packs of seeds. And he said, what kind? I said, my favorite seeds. So Mike Knox is going to be giving away a couple 100 packs of heirloom seeds. Now, if you do it right, and you plant, you don't have to plant them all. If you plant tomatoes and you carefully nurture them, you pick the very best tomatoes that you've grown, and you save the seeds. You pick the first ones that come out, one of them, a perfect specimen. You pick one from the middle of the yield, and then you pick one toward the end. The best specimens. And those are the seeds that you save. Now you've got tomatoes, or tomato seeds that you can grow from now on. If you keep doing that, you'll never have to buy seeds again. Ever. You just have to be careful. And you have to have a garden. John, I'd like to suggest that our class seriously buy a farm. It doesn't have to be a big farm, but you got to get away from Dodge. You got to move away from the city. You really do. Because when this goes down, there will be a plague of locusts cleaning out everything. 20-mile wide swath. They're going to clean out everything. Your house, your car, there'll be carcasses of vehicles and trucks, tires missing, batteries missing, hoods up, doors open, abandoned. Anything that's been left in a vehicle will be taken. Expect it. Expect Mad Max. The signs are all right in front of us. I'm expecting Mad Max. But I'll tell you, John, I've never said this before. I thought this was coming 20 years ago. But and I've been preparing for it. I've been preparing for a long, long time. It's terrifying as it gets closer. It's absolutely terrifying. And we talked about this last night. And I said, John Regan said, this can go two ways. It can go with technology or without technology. And I'm looking for without technology. Because without technology, and John, please feel free to add your comments to this. Without technology, the government goes home. They're out of the way. They're mercenaries. You don't pay those guys, they don't show up. I'm talking about teachers. I'm talking about government top to bottom. You don't pay those thugs, they don't show up. So without technology, they don't get digits in their accounts. They don't get paid. They don't show up. Now, you have to fend for yourself. So you better be ready for that. That's the good way to collapse. The bad way is technology still is present. So these guys do get digits in their accounts. Now we've got martial law and they're telling us all what to do, where to go, and how to do it. Your comments?
That's it in a nutshell.
I'm convinced, John, as I look around, as I see more for sale signs, more for rent signs, more businesses closing, more oppression and regulation, more competition from low-wage countries. We've been sold out. There is no way we can compete. We've been taxed into oblivion. Highest taxes, the government has collected the highest amount of taxes last year than they've ever collected. And we're all broker than we've ever been. And they just won't take their foot off our throat.
Let me run through the financial section here.
Yeah.
Because this is right, what we're talking about right now. We've even got the mainstream media, CNBC, saying brace for recession next year. And I don't think we're going to have to wait that long. We've got the Atlanta Fed now saying first quarter GDP is going to be up 0.3%. The prior week I had an article that says they'd revised it down to 0.6. So they're in the process of continually rising that down. And I think it may be too late to try and wake people up, but if you want to try, I've got 10 charts to show that we're worse off than just before the last crisis. And it gets into the debt, velocity of money, home ownership rate, the employment rate, labor participation, things of that nature. And then the invisible lines. If we cannot see bread lines, do they exist? And it has a graphic saying if you just used Walmart for shopping, this is how long the lines would be. Because people don't think we're in the Depression already because they can't see the bread lines. And one of the things that's going to make what's coming worse is the Fed doesn't even have ammo anymore. What they did is they lowered the interest rates to near zero. That was supposed to cause high inflation and make the employment rate or the unemployment rate go down. It didn't do either. And they were supposed to be able to raise the rates so that next time they could lower them again. Well, they haven't been able to raise them. And if they ever do manage to raise them, that's bad. But they're in a position where they really can't lower them, because to lower them, they go into that negative interest rate category. So this is the position we're in. And, like I say, we're facing it now.
Okay. So what is the solution? To me, and I've said it many times, I'll repeat it. You need to have a farm. And by having a farm, you can do a lot of things that other people can't do. If you have a farm, and I said this last night, if you have a farm and that's your business, when you buy motor oil, that motor oil purchase is not motor oil for any other reason than for your business, your farm. If you buy fuel, the only reason you buy fuel is for your business, your farm. If you buy a computer, it is for your business, your farm. Pencils, paper, keyboard,
screens, internet, telephone, landline, DSL for the farm, the tractor for the farm, the four-wheeler for the farm, the motorcycle for the farm. I'm not talking about a Harley. I'm talking about a dirt bike. Class, who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take? At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know BidBit.co. Why? Because BidBit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at BidBit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at BidBit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. BidBit.co.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
It's happening again. The feds are trying to ban your freedom to own body armor. In January, a newly introduced bill, H.R. 378, will take away your right to buy Level 3 and higher body armor. Katie Armor offers the most affordable Level 3 body armor packages on the market today. Protect yourself. Buy your body armor now before it's too late. Go to katiearmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Genesis is defined as an origin, creation, or the beginning. Genesis Communications Network began with the mission of providing you with the kind of compelling content you're listening to now. And at GCNlive.com, you'll find a free archive of our nation's history, narrated by GCN hosts, explored, shared, and passed down to future generations. GCN is the future of talk radio, but we should always strive to learn from our past. Together, we are GCNlive.com. GCN.
John Regan, I was on the phone last night with a woman who wants to come to the expo, and I said, I'm going to be teaching a seminar. She wanted to know what I was doing. I said, I'm going to be teaching a seminar on how to start your own business. And I said, if you start your business right now on this phone call, you can deduct the cost of coming to the expo at 56.5 cents a mile plus your meals, plus your expo ticket, $8 online. All these things are deductible. And let me just go down a list. I just wrote a few things. Like, what could you deduct? Now, let's say you had a farm. Let's say you buy some drills, drill bits, saws, hammers, wrenches, nails, screws, chainsaw, fencing, well pump, water tanks, even a ProPure water filtration system if it's to help your animals. Let's say you wanted to go into the water filtration business. You buy a water filtration system as part of your evaluation. Now it's a business expense. Your telephones, your AR-15. If you have a farm, you can easily use that AR-15 expense as a deduction because you need to protect your farm animals. Your shortwave radio, your extension cords. If you have a cookout and you invite your business associates, you say, I tell you what, why don't you come on over to the farm? We're having a little cookout. And you use that as a marketing tool. Now that's a business expense. Your barbecue is a business expense. So is the gas in the propane tank, itself, and the barbecue, and the meat, and the barbecue sauce, and the salt and pepper, and the salt and pepper shakers, and the plates, the forks, the knives, the spoons, the glasses, the straws. Those are all business deductions, and they're all legitimate if you use them in the expansion of your business. You have to be absolutely insane not to start your own business. Now, can I buy a motorcycle for the farm? Absolutely. If I have a two-wheeled motorcycle that I use to go check the cows and I use it for checking the cows, that's a business deduction. If I want a four-wheeler, I can buy one and use it as a business deduction. If I want another tractor, let's say I have 14 tractors. I don't, but let's say I did. And I wanted the 15th. That's up to me. That's not up to the IRS to say, Finelli, you've lost your mind. What are you thinking? You don't need 15 tractors. And I go, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Now you tell me why I don't. They can't. It's, even if you make an idiotic business decision, as long as you have a reason, you're good to go. And be prepared to be audited by a bunch of thugs who want to steal from you. So just make sure you have reasons and justification why you've done things. And my justification may be, well, I don't know if the 14 tractors will start, so I wanted a 15th. Back to you, John.
Got a couple of spy tech articles in here. I've got one that they're here. They have nanorobots getting ready to have a trial where they were going to be injected into a leukemia patient in a bid to destroy abnormal cells. So if you think this technology is a long way off, it's not. It's in trials. And it's for the Big Bang. Talks about computers that are going to be used to crunch data from 3,000 radio telescopes. And these are water-cooled computers because they're running so hot. And you think, well, what does that have to do with spy tech? Well, instead of crunching data from space telescopes, think about the Internet of Things, all the mountains of data, the big data, as they say, to be collected on everything and everybody. This is the type of technology that will be used to crunch that type of data. And try and squeeze in one more, Drone 2.0. They have now developed, this is out of Zurich University, a smart drone that can fly themselves without GPS. We had that news item where had a drone come to the White House lawn, and they're updating it so drones can't fly into restricted areas. This bypasses that.
Yeah, and so all those gamers out there who are practicing so they get a job, by the time you're done practicing, you may not have the opportunity to fly a drone because you might be replaced with a machine. John Regan, thanks so much for being with us. Hey, I'm going to see you on Friday, and John Regan will be having dinner with us at the Get Prepared Expo. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and make sure you go to his seminars. John Regan, thanks so much for being with us.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective, and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason!
Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at gcnlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at gcnlive.com. The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Rich Sheben's with us. Welcome, Rich Scheben.
Thank you, Vince Finelli. How are you today?
Hey, Rich, I'm looking at the calendar, and my understanding is you're arriving in the Ozarks tomorrow night.
I am.
Tomorrow night, you're flying in, and we're going to pick you up at the airport, and you're going to be, let me see if I've got this right. So you're arriving, we'll probably get home around 2 o'clock in the morning. And then, and then you and I are going to be on the air, on Thursday, because Ricky Rocket, our Thursday guy, is going to be in the air flying to the Ozark Mountains, where we're going to pick him up, and Matt Stein, and Grace Thorne, and, Ed Marvini. They're all flying in on Thursday.
And it's going to be fun. And then Aaron Dakins is going to arrive on Thursday with Brad Dakins. It's going to be a lot of fun here at the farm. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, by the way, I just want you to know, all of the beds that we have here at the farm are antiques. Now, here's why I'm telling you this.
Okay, you're preparing me.
I am preparing you. Because people were a little bit shorter, 150 years ago. So I just ran into the guest room and I'm thinking, I think his feet are going to hang off the edge of the bed.
That's okay. Beggars can't be choosers, right?
I'm serious. I'm really serious. I ran and I said, I better look at that bed. And, so anyway, you got the longest bed we have here at the farmhouse. But it still may be a little short. We'll find out, so you can let us know.
Yeah, well, that's why God invented 2x12s. I mean, your whole show, Vince, is based on preparedness and self-sufficiency and that type of thing. So I'm sure we can figure it out, right?
Yeah. We've got, we have some 2x12s, and we can just raise that mattress up past the footboard, and you might not even know that. Your feet are hanging out 2 feet.
You know what?
Past.
I look at sleep this weekend as being irrelevant, Vince, because when I look at the itinerary that you have set for us, I don't think we're going to have time for sleep, buddy.
No, actually, that's absolutely correct. Aaron Dakins was saying to me, so we're not going to get up early, and I said, oh no, because she, she does an overnight show, so she thinks noon is like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I said, no, it's
I've been on her show a few times, and I think I had to drink coffee because it was like her show started at 9:00 my time, so it was a late night.
Yeah. So she's in for a rude awakening when she gets here, because we're going to let her sleep as long as she wants, as long as she's up by like 6.
We might have to break out the smelling salt for her.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Sleep, I don't think sleep is an option for us here at the farm until maybe Tuesday. That would be no, seriously, because Friday. Right now, Mrs. Finelli is setting up at the expo hall. Okay, she's working with the decorators and the staff there at the hall, and they're using the forklift, and we have pallets of supplies that have been shipped in, and so she's taking care of that. And anyway, she's doing that. She can do that today, tomorrow. We're making last minute changes to the schedule. So class, if you've gone to USA Preparers and you've clicked on the seminar schedule, I think we're up to 4.63. That's the latest one. So if you don't have that one, you're not up to date. And we might have like 2 or 3 more changes, but it's getting pretty close to the real schedule. And we've been saying this all along that, some people have gotten sick and they won't be able to make it to the expo. It's not that we want any of these changes to happen, but changes in the lives of so many people, even their extended family affects, some of our speakers. So there have been some changes. So check the latest version of the seminar schedule on the website, because it will change probably up until Thursday. So if you're depending on the schedule that you see on the internet, don't depend on it until Thursday. So, sleep is really not an option. So Friday we do the setup, and that's the day Rick Miller and Matt Stein are doing their all-day seminar on game over events. And we still have a few seats left. So if you're interested in getting tickets for that, you may. And we will even accept, walk-in guests. So if you show up on Friday and you want to be part of that, it's an $85 seminar all day. We can accommodate you if you want. Friday night, After the exhibitors have done setting up their exhibits, and Rick and Matt Stein have finished with their seminar on game over events, we have our first banquet meal, and that's where you'll get a chance to meet Rich Scheben, Matt Stein, Dr. Richard Allen Miller, Norm Shealy. The faculty will be there, and you'll get a chance to have dinner with us, and dinner tickets are $10.80. So if you want to do that, you need to do that immediately, okay? We bought a few extra meals, but it looks like we're going to be serving about 450 meals at the Get Prepared Expo. I don't think any expo has ever done anything like that. 450 banquet meals at an event. That's a lot. And then we're at about, I think, a little over 100 seminars, the most ever. And this is the event that's going to wear us out. Absolutely, all of us. I'm talking about me, Rich Scheben, Norm Shealy, Matt Stein, Rick Miller, all of our guests. We're going to be worn out, absolutely worn out by the time Sunday night hits. And then on Monday, we've got our meetup. And if you're going to stick around for the Get Prepared Expo, you might want to stick around for the Monday meetup, because that's when you'll see us in a little more informal setting. Microphones, are only within one room. You might hear things that you might not ordinarily hear. That's a good meetup to come to. So if you ever want to make a meetup, and just want to show up for any meetup, this is the one you don't want to miss. That's next Monday at Jimmy's Egg. That will be a hoot. Absolutely. So, I believe, Joel Wallach is sticking around for that. And, Rick Miller, John Regan, and a bunch of others. So that'll be fun too. So if you want to get your tickets for the Get Prepared Expo, online, $8 online a day, $15 for the weekend, $10 a day at the door, it ought to be, one of life's 10 most memorable events. So Rich, let's talk about economic news. What's a big hitter in your mind?
Well, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind the biggest economic news in the last week and a half, Vince, has been the situation that's happened over in China with the Chinese Development Bank. In other words, the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, has not just recruited 120 plus countries. They have now recruited the UK, Germany, France, Italy, Switzerland. Australia is talking about moving over. And there's two main reasons from my research that I've been reading for this move. The first one is the fact that Europe has a very compromised human population to natural resource ratio. So when you look at the natural resources that Asia has in general, especially Russia, I think Europe is the people who are using the euro for years. I feel that they feel that they're rats on a sinking ship, and they're about to abandon the euro. And the second reason is, I think, the loss of confidence in a fiat currency that's not backed by anything. Because if you look at what China and Russia and India has been doing for years, they've been buying gold and silver like crazy. In fact, Germany, there was a few articles on this a few years ago, wanted their gold back from us because we were storing it for them. We've given them maybe 1/10 of the gold that they gave us to hold because we're out of it. So and this is a very scary situation, folks, because when a fiat currency like the euro goes, one of the main reasons why the U.S. dollar is the world reserve currency is because of the trade between the alliance between the euro and the dollar. It's been trading back and forth. Well, now we're in a situation that us and Japan could be holding the bag, and we could be in a situation where we have this fiat currency backed by nothing, and we're printing up to $85 billion per month. The Federal Reserve is printing it, buying back the debt. The U.S. Treasury is giving out IOUs. So I think we are in a very compromised position right now. And this is where your show comes in. To me, what your messaging, Vince, is imperative for the American people, especially ordinary, average Joe, middle-class Americans. We need to stop this division, all this distraction, dumbing down and dividing us by certain skin pigmentations, by genders, by anything to do with sex. We need synergy, synergy, synergy. We have to stick together and help our fellow Americans out.
Rich Stevens with us, offgridmontana.com, offgridmontana.com. And if you'd like to meet him and talk about what it's like living off-grid, get an autographed copy of his book, you can at the Get Prepared Expo. Class who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Tech Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you, but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know BidBit.co. Why? Because BidBit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. Bidbit.co.
Rich Scheben's with us, offgridmontana.com, offgridmontana.com. You know, Rich, you're talking about Germany's gold, and we've said on this broadcast, if you don't hold it, if you don't control it, you don't own it. So we were holding their gold for them, right? For safekeeping. Mm-hmm. And they can't get it back. Mm-hmm. We're not returning their gold. So, class, when you think about safety deposit boxes, forget about them. Make sure that you have whatever it is under your control. If you need to have a safe that's bolted to a concrete floor that's hidden, you know, concealed as well as strong, get one. Why would you rent a safety deposit box when you can use that money to buy a tangible asset like a safe and control your own possessions? So, you know, people would say, well, these diamonds they're too valuable for me to have at home, or this gold is too valuable for me to have at home. So I'm going to trust some other organization where I hardly know anybody to control my wealth, my assets, my valuables. Why would we do that? You've just seen that Germany can't get its gold back. I think that's an act of war. I think it's an act of war, not giving them their gold back if they want it. What do you think?
Well, when you piss off a country that was basically bailing out and holding up the euro almost all by itself, and they go over to the Chinese led central bank that the BRICS nations are going to be in control of over. Obviously, they're going over there because of their dollar being backed by silver and gold and tangible assets. And they're going to be competing against the IMF, the World Bank. You know, the IMF, for all intents and purposes, to me, is U.S. Treasury. And they're giving out IOUs so the Federal Reserve can buy back their own debt, which you couldn't even make a book report on that. It doesn't even make sense. So, is Germany going to get back their gold? Probably not. Is the world starting to realize that fiat currency backed by nothing is going to eventually be nothing? I think so, because every fiat currency that the world has ever had has an expiration date. And I want to mention one thing really quickly, folks. There's 6 corporations that basically own everything. 1,500 newspapers, magazines, radio stations, TV stations, 2,500 publishers, big production companies. I had about a dozen offers from production companies, mostly out of LA, they wanted to come over and do a TV show about me or a video documentary on off-grid living. And I had a call from a gal from one of these companies. She called me on her cell phone, and I'll never reveal her, obviously, but she had the guts to call me and tell me, Rich, be very careful, because you're not going to be in control of editing. They're going to make you the powers that be want to make anything to do with self-sufficiency or prepping a doomsday derogatory message. Basically, what they want to do is keep us as followers and not thinkers. They don't want self-sufficient people. So what we are trying to do as Americans, as patriots, is to try to help others and give ideas and solutions so we can make people's lives better. But we can't do it, folks, and I'm going to be redundant on this, unless we have synergy. We got to stop being the divided states of America. We can't let these 6 corporations constantly race bait with questions, sex bait, gender bait. I mean, everything they do is to distract, dumb down, and divide the American people. That's why I'm such a proponent of Vince's show, not just because he has me on a lot. Everything that he says, I believe in. He makes sense. his people back things up with objective facts, not subjective emotional opinion. And Vince, I'll tell you, I got to take my hat off to Genesis Communication for being a company that actually has the guts to let people like you explain truth and facts. So if anybody from Genesis is listening, thank you.
Well, they are, and let me make a comment about that. I called the owner of Genesis Communications Network. His name is Ted Anderson. I've spoken with him 3 times. And each time I call him, I just say, hey, Ted, I just called to say thank you. I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know why you let me on the air, but I appreciate it. And thanks so much. And I have to thank John Statmiller of Republic Broadcasting, because he picks up this broadcast, and it's even airing Genesis's commercials, and Liberty News Radio is doing the same thing. They're all supporting us. We'll be right back. Class who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know BidBit.co. Why? Because BidBit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at BidBit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at BidBit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. BidBit.co.
The freeze-dry guy, leader in the preparedness industry for 44 years, is closing his California warehouse. Don't miss out on this huge warehouse sale and receive discounts from 30 to 40% off on the finest Mountain House and Packaway brand freeze-dried and dehydrated foods for long-term food storage or even everyday use. Plus deep discounts on all in-stock survival gear. The freeze-dry guy is offering a wide selection of freeze-dried foods in number 10 cans and even individually packaged entrees. Remember, meats, vegetables, fruits, and long-range patrol rations are the main components for any long-term food storage. This is limited to stock on hand, so hurry and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, as always, free shipping to the lower 48 states. So hurry up and call 866-404-3663 or 530-798-4414. Remember, this is limited to stock on hand. The freeze-dry guy is your choice for survival food in an uncertain world.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Class, I just posted on the website usaprepares.com that the UN warns that we could have a 40% water shortfall by 2030. That's 15 years from now. We take water for granted. We flush our toilets with drinking water. We water our lawns with drinking water. Most of the world's water is polluted in one way or another. The oceans are all polluted with radioactivity. So consider getting your farm. I've said it many, many times. Consider getting a farm. Move out of Dodge where, how can you live without water? Nobody moves to a desert. Nobody moves to a desert and says, boy, this is a great place to move. We'll have everything. Without water, life doesn't exist. So get your farm. Make sure you have a water well or two. Make sure you have a water purification system. And if you come to the expo, make sure you get your ProPure water filtration system at the lowest price in the country and take it with you. And get some extra filters. I'm not recommending it because it's not something that we do. I've made sure that we have generations worth of water filter cartridges. Generations worth. That's how concerned I am about water. Now, Rich Scheben, you said something very interesting. You talked about how you got a call from someone from the media that said be really careful because they can edit, they can film you, they can edit you into making people think you're foolish. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely true, and I'm going to prove it right now. One of our instructors, his name is Alan Busick. Another one is Franco Malaya. And there was a Doomsday Prepper episode where both of these guys, they've both been to the expo, many expos. They both have been to meetups. Alan Busick has been on the air with us, in studio with us. And he is a survivalist. He's a very active, preparedness-minded guy. He is an engineer. Franco Malaya and he both live in the Springfield community, Springfield, Missouri. Franco Malaya is a electrical contractor. Both of these guys are bright guys. Now, they were introduced to Brooklyn Bagwell, another one of our instructors, who is the casting director for Doomsday Preppers. I introduced Franco and Alan Busick to the casting director of Doomsday Preppers at our expo. She came to our expo, many expos, to find talent for Doomsday Preppers. Sharp Entertainment's broadcast on National Geographic. So Alan Busick and Franco Malaya decided they would do an episode with them. They had a couple restrictions. There are certain things that they didn't want videoed for their own safety. And those, like exactly where they lived, was not indicated on the episode of Doomsday Preppers. Well, they did a piece on aquaponics. They both raise fish. And Doomsday Preppers set it up as a competition. Like, who's the best aquaponics farmer? Is it Alan or is it Franco? Well, the director of, not Brooklyn Bagwell, but the director of the production said to Franco, you know those worms that you feed the fish, those worms that you grow in that box there, that disgusting box of maggots and worms? Let's get a video of you eating one of those. And Franco said, no way. No way. The director said, I'll tell you what. You eat one, I'll eat one. So Franco, and he told us, all of us at the meetup after it, he picked the smallest one and he ate it. And he said it was disgusting. They videoed him and they used that as the leader for this episode. His daughter's screaming, Daddy, it's disgusting. He did it. He said he was sick for 3 days, literally gut-wrenching sick. Thought he was going to die after eating this worm. He turned to the Doomsday Preppers director and he said, okay, now it's your turn. And the director said, no way. No way. So here we have a guy who is a really bright guy. He was convinced into eating this bug. They put it on national TV over and over and over and over again as the highlight of this preparedness episode about aquaponics. This guy eats this worm. They didn't show him getting sick for the next 3 days. But what I'm telling you is that is not what Franco Molea would do. He was pushed into it. So you're absolutely right.
Well, Vince, if I can expand on that, I'll be honest with you. That's their MO. They want to make everybody look as stupid as possible, and that's why they're making America drunk on the Kool-Aid of political correctness. That's why I say we need to draw a line in the sand, have zero tolerance for this cookie-cutter follower PC mentality that has infected us in America. Now, if you really think the elite really care about the middle class and us folks, why would they have open borders and let sick people in? Why would they have GMO foods, which doesn't even have to be labeled, which can now, the technology is there that they're putting bacteria, antibiotics, and herbicides like Roundup in there? Why does 96% of Monsanto shareholders vote on not letting the GMO ingredients get exposed to the American people? How come 9 out of 10 drug makers spend more on marketing than research and development? It's all about manufacturing perception. Truth has been trumped by manufactured perception. You know, I've been asked on many a radio show, and I know I've mentioned this here, Vince. I get asked very often, what is the main reason for the demise of the middle class? And I say, well, it's ignorance, apathy, and indifference that a lot of people say. But it's also, the number one reason is the fear of the consequences of being politically incorrect. In other words, the fear of telling the truth. And with what I mentioned about what's happening with fiat currencies and our European allies dumping the euro and going over to the Chinese Central Bank, Development Bank with the BRICS nations, this should be a wake-up call. We need to start thinking about synergy, preparedness, self-sufficiency, growing our own gardens, clean, uncontaminated water, like Vince mentioned earlier. You know, fluoride is in pretty much most, if not all, of the municipal water, city water supplies in this country. That's the main ingredient for rat poison. Research shows it has zero benefits. It causes tooth decay, cancer, brain lesions. It makes some women sterile, and it makes most people docile. So ask yourself, folks, do the powers that be that control these 6 big corporations, are they really looking out for you? And I think the answer is pretty obvious. The system is broken. It's up to us as free-thinking individuals in America to come together and share ideas, trade heirloom and open pollinated seeds, share ideas and solutions on how we can thrive and maybe even possibly survive. We have to have synergy. We have to have rules for commerce, but we can't do it unless we all draw that line in the sand and demand that we stand for principle. And how I define principle is that we must all have the same rules, laws, and accountability for everybody on American soil.
Rich, you said something that made me think about farmers. You're talking about the water supply. You're talking about fluoride. Farmers, if you look at them, if you put them in a lineup, with the general population, I believe that farmers are generally not overweight. And farmers are not on city water systems. Think about that, right? Farmers are not overweight, and they're not on city water systems. They can't be on city water systems because you can't farm in the city. The city is either concrete or pavement or buildings. So you can't farm in the city. So you have to have a well. So farmers are more free from fluoride than most people. However, fluoride is probably in all the food that we consume that's commercially produced. So if you get tomato sauce out of a jar or a can, it's probably produced with fluoride injected water.
Absolutely.
And so is just about every other food that you consume that comes in a package, like a processed food. So I think there is in my mind, I can't prove it, but in my mind, I'm thinking that it's just one more reason why we have to get out of Dodge. You got to get out of that city. You've got to buy a farm. If you want to survive, I don't think there's any other choice. Mm-hmm. You've got to get away from people.
I agree.
Rich, are you overweight?
I probably could lose a few pounds.
Well, okay. When you talk about a few, you mean a few, right?
Yeah, I'm probably in the neighborhood of 210, 208,
okay.
Somewhere in there.
How tall are you?
6 foot and like a third of an inch.
All right. Well, okay. So 6 feet.
I could have said I'm 199 and 99 1/100ths after a week of Exodus, but hey, I was trying to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So just a couple pounds overweight. I mean, it's not like you're 75. It's not like you need to lose, 2/3 of your weight or a third or a quarter. So what I'm saying is you live on a water well, you live on a ranch, and you are free from a lot of the toxins and poisons that most people are surrounded by.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you decide that you want to be poisoned, just get some commercially extruded food, right? That's what all you have to do. Go to McDonald's or Burger King or any of those other places that serve extruded food. We'll be right back. Class, who wants to pay less taxes and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take? At the Get Prepared Expo, I'll show you how. This is something I learned 40 years ago, and I'm delighted to teach you. What if you lose your job or your company shuts down? The plan is for you to be financially independent by starting your own business. Any business, whatever you like to do. I haven't had a job since the 1980s. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's how long it takes to die. At the Get Prepared Expo, we'll have pallets of Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems at the lowest prices in the country. Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems, and we'll have the lowest prices in the country on top of the line Mountain House freeze-dried food with a 35-year shelf life. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th at the Get Prepared Expo. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. The financial collapse of the United States is a mathematical certainty. There's no doubt about it. U.S. Air Force Captain and author John Regan will explain why this will happen and what you need to do about it right now. We're not trying to scare you. but the collapse is coming. This and 150 seminars and exhibits are included in your pass. $8 online and $10 a day at the door. Saturday and Sunday, March 28 and 29 at the Get Prepared Expo, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. Ladies, for $450, you can buy a brand new AR-15 rifle kit at the Get Prepared Expo. Because this AR-15 is a kit, there's no paperwork and no registrations required. It's totally private and all 100% legal. AR-15 kits and seminars on how to assemble them. 150 seminars and exhibits, $8 online, $10 at the door. AR-15 kits, $450 at the GetPreparedExpo.com. Saturday and Sunday, March 28th and 29th, Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. How many...
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
This is Holly Thomas, Group Vice President of Cause Marketing for Macy's. Our company is working together with the March of Dimes through March for Babies to raise money and awareness about the serious problem of premature birth in the U.S. That's why Macy's is committed to raising funds through our employees, customers, family, and friends to improve the health of moms and babies everywhere. Won't you please join us in March for Babies? Start a team today at marchforbabies.org.
Class, Rich Sheben's with us, and a couple weeks ago, I brought Rich Sheben's beta version of his DVD to show to our meetup group for their reaction. And what Rich did was he had a videographer come to his ranch and video his lifestyle. And what we saw in the video was his cabin, his solar array, his battery bank, his control system. We saw him fishing, and we saw the animals, the farm animals that he has on his ranch. We saw him with a chicken and preparing that for a meal.
A turkey, actually.
We saw the lifestyle. And we saw the lifestyle of a rancher and a farmer, doing things that city people just don't do. So if you want to get a feel for what it's like, and you'd like to talk to Rich Sheben about making this move, he did what I did. I mean, he had a job, good job, and he jumped off the corporate ladder. He became independent, lives in the middle of nowhere. He doesn't need to be entertained. He has his ranch. And he's got more to do on his ranch than he'll ever be able to accomplish. That's just the way it is when you do this kind of thing. We have a farm, he has a ranch, and he hunts and fishes, and he uses those aren't just trophies. Those animals are used for food sources. He gathers wood, he heats his cabin with wood, he cooks with wood. He lives a lifestyle with all of the conveniences that you would like to have, except a few. And it's a wonderful lifestyle. And Rich, let me say this. I went to my 25th high school reunion many years ago. Many years ago. They had an informal vote of who was the most successful. And I was taught by the Jesuits. So some of the guys and it was an all boys, school. And, some of the guys, have their own, law firms. Some have their own medical practices. Some are, large contractors and very wealthy. They took this informal vote and they decided that I was the most successful of all of them. Not that I had the most digits, because I did not, but because I was in actual control of my life. I only did what I wanted to do because I wanted to do it. I didn't have a gun to my head by some boss telling me what to do, or employees that would rob me blind if I turned my back, those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. Well, you have that lifestyle. You jumped off the corporate ladder. Way less money, just like I did, way less money, but we're in control of our lives. So you can do it. Class, what I'm saying is you can do the same thing. You don't have to have all these gadgets that your neighbors have. You don't need them, because your neighbors aren't going to survive. The gadgets don't make a great lifestyle. And Rich, you talk about wealth is not needing a lot of things. Please share that comment with us.
Well, in the book, I define wealth in 4 ways: freedom, liberty, time, and health. Those are things that the middle class cannot buy back. And I think what we are doing, especially you, Vince, because you have your own radio show, is, to me, the most important thing. And that's what gives me the most joy right now, is trying to give and help others with ideas and solutions to simplify their life and get them off the hamster wheel running to nowhere. And whether they become healthier, they regain certain interests and hobbies, they no longer give up on themselves, their goals, their dreams, their health. These are the messages that I'm trying to deliver and inspire and motivate people to start thinking outside the box. Because everything that we think we know about America, our traditions, heritage, culture, everything is changing before our eyes for the worst. So I think if we can regain those lost 19th century skills, but dovetail them with 21st century technology, I think we can all be better prepared for what might be coming down the pike.
Couldn't agree more. So, class, if you'd like to meet Rich Scheben, you may. In 2 days. In 2 days, you'll be able to meet him at the Get Prepared Expo. The expo starts on Friday, 2 days from now. Cowan Civic Center, Lebanon, Missouri. Tickets are available on the website, usaprepares.com or getpreparedexpo.com. You can buy your tickets, $8 a day at the door. I'm sorry, $8 online, $10 a day at the door. And consider getting these banquet meals with us, and you can have dinner with Rich Scheben. Imagine that. Wouldn't that be fun? It really would.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
It's a terrifying thought. You're trapped somewhere without a radio and no access to GCN shows, a doctor's office, the DMV, your mother-in-law's.
Come on, stay for dinner.
That's what makes the newly redesigned GCN Live app a true lifesaver. Listen to your favorite GCN hosts and programming on your smartphone, wherever you are. Download yours free on iTunes or Google Play. The new GCN Live app. Don't leave home without it. The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.